The biggest headline right now is Larry Nassar, and obviously the sex abuse scandal and all the women gymnasts who were testifying against him. What was your reaction when you first heard about that?
Oh, I felt sick to my stomach that some monster would be able to be there for so long and to go undetected is just terrible. But one of the things we found is there was no direct way for us to look in and see what was going on. We would rely, and as a woman who's been a part of a team sport, we would really need the athletes to speak up. And it's so sad that it took so long.
So what role does the IOC and the USOC and individual sport governing bodies having ensuring an environment that's safe and tries to rid itself from people like Larry Nassar?
Each has a responsibility at a different level. The International Olympic Committee, of course, has an overall responsibility for the Olympic movement and making sure that athletes feel safe and have a fair chance at competition. And we have developed a safe sport for entourages in order to help them be given the information they need so that there will be no such things as what happened with the women's gymnastics team in the United States. Now, at the U.S. Olympic Committee level, the USOC, by legislation, doesn't have the ability to control the national governing bodies. We have some oversight as far as the money which we present to them for use as they develop their teams, and the money that goes straight to the athletes. But one of the things we found is there was no direct way for us to look in and see what was going on. We would rely, and as a woman who's been a part of a team sport, we would really need the athletes to speak up. And it's so sad that it took so long. And the kind of people say, well, you have to change the culture. Yes, we do. I don't know who the we is. I think it's every American should care about this. And changing the culture means having to remove this, whatever this is, this level of fear that would so keep the athletes quiet for this period of time. It's just a horrible thing. And if anyone knew about it, shame on them.
Is there anything looking back that the USOC could have done differently?
Not sure. We are having an investigation looking at that. The structure right now suggests not, because the only time the USOC is directly in touch with the athletes is once they've been selected and they're actually at the games and about to compete. That's the structure in our country. And in most countries, the National Olympic Team actually might have more to do since the funding might come through the national government. We're unique in that the national government does not fund sports in our country. So the athletes get there whichever way they can get there. And it's just a horrible situation. And we've known that in the past, in some sports, there have been predators who have been able to get themselves stuck. And one of the things that we hope to do at the international level is to make sure that if a coach is coaching in one country and is found out that that coach can't go to another country, or a doctor can't go someplace else. Usually what happens is if you have a serial predator, and that's unfortunately the way they are, when they realize they're about to be found out, they'll go. They'll leave that country or that state or that area to find new people someplace else. And what we want to do is to make sure that that doesn't happen ever again.
Gotcha. So you mentioned that there's an investigation going on, but are there any other steps that the USOC is taking just to extra prevent that this doesn't happen again?
I can't remember, it was 4 years ago, I believe, that the U.S. Olympic Committee funded an organization called Safe Sport. Their board of directors is completely independent of the U.S. Olympic Committee, and it's up to them to fundraise, and so far the money has come primarily from the USOC. We'd love to have other organizations help support it because it's so important, and every sport is affected by this, boys as well as girls. So everyone should understand that this is a very important organization to be in place and working. so far, an important thing they've done is they've revised their educational process for people. And I can tell you, as a referee in the noble sport of rowing, we are required to take this education. And there's a kind of there's a test that goes along with each chapter to make sure that you've understood it, so that even though we are far removed from contact with athletes, we should be able to know and understand and be able to tell if there's a situation that shouldn't be occurring, and to be able to speak up about it. So I'm delighted that the test is available. No, it's mandatory, even for referees in rowing.